good folks? This is your girl Bernicia. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. Now, folks, on my last episode recap, you guys know how I do it. I break it down as if I'm watching for the first time. Hell, in most cases, I really am watching for the first time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this started. All right, so Chrisean and Blueface, season 2, episode 2. Last episode takes off. All of them, they go to the clinic to where Chrisean finds out how far along she is, and she gets an ultrasound and all of that good stuff. All right. During that process, an argument ensued between Chrisean's family and Blueface. Okay, so her mom is very adamant that Chrisean should not get a surgical procedure to get rid of the baby. Y'all know the word. I can't say it. And so the mom kind of goes a little crazy. She gets a little dramatic about it because it's something that she firmly is against. Okay, she believes she very much is a pro-lifer. Okay. However, this episode picks up. They finally, calm the mom down, and, Chrisean is going about her way. The mom is going about her way. Now, what I could appreciate, like I mentioned before on my last recap, that Chrisean's older sister seems to be the only one in the family that has any amount of, good sense. Okay. And prime example being, like in this case, she pulls the mom to the side, and she's the only one that really tells the moms, like, okay, like, listen, you have to chill. Like, I know you feel a ways against it, but either way, the decision is Chrisean's. Okay. You can't make that decision for other people. It's okay for you to feel how you gonna feel, but you need to calm down, And that's more than what I heard anybody else say to the mom. Like, first and foremost, calm down, okay? My thing is, as far as Chrisean is concerned, this is not the first time she was pregnant. Okay, this is not the first time that she's went through this. Now, maybe that's perhaps the reason why her mom is flipping the script. But at the end of the day, listen, what you should have been trying to do was tell her don't be getting pregnant again. Okay, because if you're gonna be going down this roller coaster of back and forth in and out of doctors every time you get pregnant, then you just need to take better precautions about getting pregnant. And also, I did hear Chrisean mention in the last episode that she don't believe in birth control. That is something that somebody need to tell her about. If y'all gonna be trying to put stuff into her head, regardless of whether or not she keep that baby, y'all need to be telling her ass that birth control is real and it does exist. Okay? And then once her and Blueface is in a stable enough relationship, or they have finally made up their minds that this is what they want to do, really start a family, then she can come off the birth control, and then they can pursue trying to have a child. But nobody has said that yet. Okay, I don't know if they said that off camera, but nobody. I'm failing to hear anybody say that to Chrisean. Okay, so at this point, it's like, Mama Dukes, I know you're upset, but you can't cry over spilt milk. She's pregnant, and ultimately, whatever she decides to do, she's gonna do with or without your consent. It's just the way it is. All right, so in the next scene, Chrisean and Blueface, they go to a high school to do a performance. Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking too, folks. And guys, you can only imagine how that went. Chrisean was cussing, performing her song. No edited version, just performing her song. Side note, can we please come out with a new song for Chrisean? Because, like, I'm telling you, it's a vibe. It's getting played out for me. Yeah, I'm getting tired of hearing it, okay? And so then after Chrisean performed, Blueface came on and he performed Tatiana. See, this is what happens when y'all take the Bible out of school. You take the Bible out of school. You want to take Black history out of school, but then y'all bring these cussing ass, non-performing ass artists into the school to influence the kids. Boy, where are we going these days? Where are we going? So, anywho, despite the fact that I feel like their performances were highly inappropriate for a high school You know, the kids was lit. You know, they put on a show, showed the teenagers a good time. So anyway, child. In the next scene, now we're back at Chrisean's house, okay? So Chrisean and her family are in the kitchen and they're preparing. I guess they're supposed to have a meeting between Blueface's family and Chrisean's family, okay? So 2 minutes in to this scene, you can already tell that things is not going to work out the way that they planned, okay? Because for one, you know, Chrisean's in the house and she's arguing, arguing and yelling at her family members about what I don't know. Meanwhile, they flash to where Carlissa, Blueface's mom, is outside and she's, waiting to come in. And for her, she don't want to come in because for one, she hear all the noise in the inside. Chrisean already sounds upset and she doesn't want to be there if Blue's not there. So you got production, they're calling Blue's not answering. She tried to contact Blue's not answering. So Blue just decided he's not going to show up to this shit. And personally, I don't blame him because, I mean, from the looks of it, he's not missing much. Anyway, moving on. So, Carlissa asked one of the producers to grab Chrisean so that she can ask Chrisean could she come outside so they can have a talk privately or whatever. Apparently, I don't know if Chrisean came out. I doubt she did. And this is what I hate a lot about Zeus when it comes to Blueface and Chrisean's show. They are always editing shit out. Like, you can't really understand. Like, you have to sit here and really be, like, putting pieces together. Like, you wouldn't really know what the hell's going on if it wasn't for the fact that shit happens on social media, like tweets and all of that. You really wouldn't know what's going on. Because if it ain't Chrisean and Blueface speaking in code, you have Zeus, like, editing shit out or whatever. Because so Carlissa ended up leaving or whatever. They couldn't contact Blue. Apparently she couldn't get a conversation out of Chrisean, so I guess they decided to exit. I think that was a smart decision because Chrisean's family, they was already inside, already drinking and stuff, and I just have a feeling that things wouldn't have turned out well had they sat down and tried to have like this little dinner. Because you got Chrisean's mom and stepdad who are very excited talkers. They're very rowdy people. Then you have her sister Tashiki, not to mention her friend, her two homegirls is there. So I don't foresee how that would have worked out. So Blueface did himself a favor by not even turning up to what could have potentially been a shit show. But yeah, Zeus need to get their shit together, man. Anyway, so Carlissa leaves. And then they flash back to Chrisean and her family in the kitchen or whatever. So Chrisean's older sister is like, basically like, let's get it out on the table. The oldest one. She's like, let's get it out on the table. Anybody got anything to say or whatever? Because clearly there's been like a little issue between Tashiki and Chrisean, stemming from the incident in last episode when them two almost got into a fight and Chrisean hit Tashiki in the face or whatever. So Chrisean just basically, she doesn't really want to talk about it. She's over it. She's like, Tashiki, she keep disrespecting me and this, that, and the third. Clearly, Tashiki is, sober because she's a lot quieter and calmer than she was the night before. So clearly here she's somewhat sober. At least I think she is. Basically, and at a point it comes to where Tashiki and Marsha's kind of like going back and forth, because basically Marsha's like, why would you try to attack your sister? She's pregnant, telling her like, this is not baddies, you're not on a a show like that or whatever. And honestly, quite frankly, I think now Marsh seems that I see what kind of Marsh is. Marsh seems to be very protective of her sister or whatever. I mean, not of her sister, of Chrisean Rock. Okay, and I think it's commendable that she's as protective as she is of her friends. She seems like she has her friend back for real. And these days, you can't really find people who's like that, who are loyal. Just good people, you know what I'm saying, that care about you. You can't really find people like that these days. So I think it's commendable that Marsh, she stepped in and she said something to Tashiki, because while Tashiki loves to throw out the card like, oh, we're sisters, we're blood. No, no, no. Sometimes, baby, people love to say blood is thicker than water, but family is what you make, okay? Because your family would dog you out and not give a damn, versus a person who don't even know you, didn't grow up with you, probably just meeting you, and could be way more of a friend, provide way more of a family environment than your actual family. So just because they are sisters don't mean that, she's closer to Chrisean than Marsh, okay? Because clearly we can see who Chrisean, favors more when it comes to, like, being close to or whatever. We could tell that clearly them two is closer than her and her sister. And like I said, I feel like Tashiki is jealous, you know what I'm saying? She low-key jealous of her sister. And I believe that Marsh has peeped this too, but everything I say, it does come into fruition, so eventually you guys will see what I'm talking about. So now they go outside to the back porch and this stupid conversation continues, okay? And from what I'm gathering, 1.1, okay, Chrisean says that she's upset with Tashiki because Tashiki keeps treating her like she's a kid. First of all, if you don't act like an adult, nobody's going to treat you like one, okay? Point blank, period. And then the fact that that's her younger sister, of course you be baby to some extent, but you don't help the case by falling out doing all of this crazy shit that you do. You act childish, you do childish shit, you get treated like a child, okay? And secondly, while Marsh was saying some real shit to Tashiki on behalf of Chrisean, it's sad that Marsh has to be is the only one in a situation that has some intellectual, that can have an intellectual conversation and can break through to Tashiki, where else Chrisean has no communication skills at all. Even when she's talking to Blueface or talking to anybody, there's always this mumbling. Whenever she gets uncomfortable, she, try to evade the conversation, or she gets angry and frustrated easily. And this not even baby hormones, mind you, because we've seen her act like this before pregnancy, okay? So you can't even blame this on baby hormones. Fast forward to the end of the episode, because honestly, y'all, this episode really wasn't getting like that, okay? Besides the boring ass conversation between Chrisean and her sister and the family or whatever about Tashiki's behavior toward Chrisean and the disrespect and all of that. Besides that, and you know what I'm saying, we didn't even get to see the family meeting with Carlissa and Blueface and their families. Now that would have been interesting. It would have been a hot mess, but it would have been interesting. But we didn't get to see that, unfortunately. So now we get to the best part of the episode, which is the lie detector test situation. Okay, so Blueface, he goes first. For the most part, he passed his lie detector test. But with that being said, Chrisean was asking him like really basic questions, like, "Do you love me? Are you excited? To start a family or whatever." He did lie on a couple of those questions, but ultimately we know that he loves Chrisean or whatever. So that's all that we really got out of that, because, like I said, Chrisean didn't ask him deep enough questions. She kept it simple, and for the Lord. I don't understand why she didn't go deeper, because Blueface, when it was his turn to question her, he asked her very specific questions. So I don't understand why she didn't go deeper with him. I'd have been trying to get to the bottom of some shit. You know what I'm saying? This was her opportunity to get some type of, questions, some real truth out of him. You know what I'm saying? On the other hand, when it was her turn to do the lie detector test, she failed with flying colors. Okay, and I found that real interesting, because the main question that Blueface kept asking her was, did she have sex with anyone in the year 2023? Which means she would have been already pregnant around that time. By the time that whenever, you know what I'm saying, based off her pregnancy test and the time that this episode was filmed, Chrisean would have been pregnant in the beginning of the year 2023. So this means he's asking her questions. This means that if she slept with somebody, that she slept with that person while she was pregnant. But Chrisean, she said no, but it turned, the lie detector test determined that that was a lie. And I know that some people are saying like, it could have been messed up because she was pregnant or whatever, that, the baby heartbeats affect, whatever's going on with her. So it make her heart beat faster or whatever, whoop de whoop. I would say, yeah, that's a possibility, but it was crazy how she kept on moving. Like, that you're supposed to be still. You know how you're supposed to, sit or whatever. She wouldn't answer the question directly. She kept playing around. She kept moving. She was saying, ask the question again. And the camera showed her, Blueface asking the question 3 times. All right. And it was the frustration in his face that told it all. Okay. And this is what gets me too. So I feel like, yeah, she did have sex with somebody else. That's why she didn't want to answer. That's why she played games and didn't want to sit there and properly take the test as she was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it shouldn't have been no hesitation. It shouldn't have been no games played. Like, this would have calmed down a lot of the bullshit, because obviously Blueface was acting the ways towards her because he believed she was lying. So that would have been my first thing. Like, if I know I ain't lying, I'm sitting here, let's take this test, let's get this shit done and over with. She didn't do that. So that told me that she was lying about something, that she was hiding something. Not to mention the fact that in the previous episodes, and I've said this before, Blueface was throwing a lot of hints that Chrisean was doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? And while it shouldn't be a big deal, because at the end of the day, Blueface clearly is out here doing what the hell he wants to do, it shouldn't be a big deal. But it is. It is, because this is the same chick who all on the internet cries 24/7 about what Blueface does to her and how he's treating her, but yet she won't tell her side of the story. See, she gives the impression that she's this, loyal, diehard, chick. But at the end of the day, she's doing her thing too. She's not innocent. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not biased when it comes to bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I call bullshit for what it is. Like, yes, I feel sorry for some of the shit that Chrisean going through, but I've said it before that she put herself in a lot of those positions that she's in. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention the fact, like, one thing I could respect about Blueface is that he's told the truth from the jump. He's a hoe. He does what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? But I think he just don't like the fact that, everybody's painting him out like he's just such a villain when Chrisean's doing her thing too. I just think that call a spade a spade. If you fucking off, you fucking off. Now, I'm not saying that, I think that she's cheated to the point where, the baby possibly isn't Blueface. No, I believe 100% that the baby is Blueface. Obviously, as we all know via social media, that the baby is his because they did a DNA test. I don't believe that was the case, but I do believe that Rock was, she stepped out and, had her a little fun on the side too. I just feel like she should own up to it. Own up to it, because if you ain't trying to put out this image and paint him to be a bad guy and all of this, if that's not your intention, then just tell the truth. Like, I did my little thing too. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just baffles me as to why she really don't want to admit this to Blueface, when clearly he really feels that he knows the truth. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and admit, like, look, I did this and did that. You did your thing, I did it, I could do it too. Simple. To me, that would be more respectable. But when you sit around on the internet and cry and fall out and on there every 2 seconds, oh, I had this baby. If you're going to do all of that, baby, be 100% about yours. That's all I'm saying. Okay?
Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it, I won't take it back. Because I did this shit, I was a hoe.
With everything being said, folks, I think I pretty much hit my points. This episode wasn't given like that, honestly. And as far as the whole family situation, family dynamic, first of all, her mom, her stepdad, and her sister Tashiki, I don't see the need for them to be on the show, period, at this point. Because it's like, they're not helping, okay? her mom and the stepdad, every time the camera shows them, they're both drinking. The stepdad, he gets excited and belligerent. He's not much better than the mom. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're trying to involve themselves in something, but they ain't even all the way wrapped too tight. So she clearly isn't wrapped too tight either. So I don't see how they can be conducive to a better situation and help her keep a headspace. I feel like the best support system that Rock has, she has a support system out of her older sister, Tessa, and she has support from Marsh. Them the only two people that I see around her that seems to have some modicum of you know what I'm saying, common sense. So as far as they're concerned, yeah, they're conducive. I just feel like when I'm going through something, I would rather have people around me who's going to help me keep a tight head versus people who just want to be along for the ride and they just want something. You know what I'm saying? The only reason they're even around trying to be supportive is because it's something in it for them. And I feel like a lot of the support that, you know, her family tries to give her is only because she's the breadwinner. I feel like it's only a couple people out of that little group that actually real deal, you know, have some concern, a care about Chrisean and her mental space. Okay, that's how I feel about that. Now, as far as Blueface and Chrisean is concerned, them two as a couple, of course, I feel like it's downhill from there. Okay, and I'm quite frankly, I'm surprised that I got to see, like, you know, clearly Blueface's feelings was hurt, and don't get me wrong, like, he did a lot of shit to Chrisean, but it's not fair that, you know, he gets criticized and everybody, you know what I'm saying, everybody, you know, checks him about situations, but nobody is checking Chrisean. Okay, and I see that some people's like, oh, so what if she cheated? What you mean, so what? That's not the image that she's putting out there. The way she be acting, you know, going about things, it's as if she's just 100% loyal, and she's not. So I think she just needs to take accountability for shit. Not just with this situation with Blueface, just take accountability, period. You know what I'm saying? She's about to have a kid. She's about to be a mom. It's a new level. You got to level up mentally and physically so that you can get the job done the way it needs to be done, you know? So I think right now, you know, this episode is just revealed a lot. It kind of revealed, you know, to a certain extent why Blueface is the way he is towards her in this whole pregnancy situation. It tells a lot, you know what I'm saying? And like I say, it doesn't make him right, it doesn't make her wrong. It's just, you know, it just is what it is at this point. And I just think that if they're gonna do a reality show, they need to stop cutting out a lot of the shit. They need to keep, you know, make shit clear, okay? Because I'm tired of trying to figure out all the pieces. Right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are too. But with that being said, folks, I've said all that I can say about this episode. And, you know, of course, I look forward to the next one. I hope that there's some more revelations to be had, especially as far as this Chrisean Rock situation. I hope that they get a little bit more into that, because I'm trying to figure out what exactly was she up to. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, I'm out, folks. Deuces. All right, folks, that was fun. I enjoyed myself. I hope you enjoyed this video, because if you made it to this part, you have watched the whole entire video. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video if you like this video. If you don't, dislike this video. Hell, comment, talk your shit. Let's start a conversation, people. With that being said, I love you guys. Once again, thank you. I'm out. Bye.